Hi there, hope you're having a pleasant day wherever you may be. Today I find myself checking out some ruins. I'm at Gila Cliff Dwellings National Monument in southern New Mexico. The Gila Cliff Dwellings are located in southern New Mexico, about 40 or 50 miles from the town of Silver City. So what exactly is going on here? Well, these are ancient dwellings that were left by the Mogollon people, and they were built in the late 1200s. Now, for those that have been playing along at home, if the Mogollon sound a little familiar, that's because we talked a little bit about them at the Three Rivers Petroglyph site over near Tularosa. If you'd like to check that video out, go right ahead, but what do you say we get back to this one? But first, let's step a little further back. Approximately 27 million years ago, volcanic eruptions laid a bunch of rock in this area. The rock cooled and cracked, and that allowed water to seep in the form of streams and carved out these narrow canyons. During that process, it also hollowed out little crevices and caves all along the canyon walls. Now, those caves proved to be pretty great places for humans to live. Now, even though the Mogollon built their structures in the late 1200s, there's evidence to suggest that humans have been living in and out of these for hundreds of years. Now, they've determined that by analyzing the soot on the roofs of the caves, as well as artifacts that they found. They found some things that even predate the bow and arrow. That's pretty cool. As for the Mogollon, they inhabited this region prior to the 1200s, but more down by the river, and they built pueblos and things like that. Then a period of drought sort of caused them to come up into the cliffs, and around 1275 or so is when they started building these structures. The reason they can tell that is based off of the tree ring dating from the timbers that they used in their structures. Now, what's interesting is they only lived here until about 1300, and then for whatever reason, they left, and their scientists aren't quite sure why. Like I said, the structures were built into pre-existing caves, and they were built really high up, which is kind of interesting, and scientists aren't quite exactly sure why they built them so high. Who knows, maybe that's just where the caves were, I don't know. But the structures are built out of stone with large wooden poles at the top, which would have been for the roof, and in one instance, even possibly a second floor. It is believed that the entrance to the structure was up a ladder and in through a hole in the roof that was for entering and exiting, and also to let fire come out. There are examples of a couple of T-shaped doorways, which is not typical of Mogollon culture, which makes them believe that they traded with others, not just for goods and services, but also ideas. And that's why they incorporated it into their building. After the Mogollon left the area in around 1300, other tribes have come and gone, but most notably around the 1500s was the Chiricahua Apache, and most notably of the Apache, Geronimo, was born in this region. He was said to have been born near the headwaters of the Gila River, and that's pretty much what this region is. After the Mogollon left the area, it is believed that some of them went down to Mexico. Others kind of went north and sort of incorporated with the Puebloan tribes, and are the precursor to a lot of the modern tribes today from that region. So contrary to our common misconceptions, the Mogollon didn't disappear. They are the ancestors to a modern tribe. The Mogollon are considered a prehistoric tribe, and as far as I can tell, they can't trace any lineage of the current tribes to the Mogollons. And their histories, legacies, traditions all live on in some form in those tribes. And in approximately 1907, President Teddy Roosevelt declared this a national monument, and rightfully so, I think. As far as visiting, like I said, it's about 40 or 50 miles from Silver City, which is a full-blown town. I mean, it's got all your major chains. It's got like a Walmart, stuff like that. And the drive-in is on a windy forest road with no cell service, so just keep that in mind. It's beautiful, but yeah, just take your time. The official sign when you leave town says it should take about 2 hours. Took me about an hour and a half, give or take. So once you get here, this is a fee-free site, which I've noticed a couple of these more off the beaten national park sites are free. You know, you make the effort, you know, why charge people? Once you get here, there is a little visitor center that I would recommend checking out. It has a lot of Native American artifacts, talks a little bit about the region, the people that inhabited it over the years, and has a video that you can watch. I thought it was pretty interesting. Once you get here, there's all sorts of trails and things in the region, but the one that you're here for is the Cliff Dwelling Trail. It's a 1 mile loop. It starts off low in the canyon that follows a stream. You cross it a bunch of times, and it's well shaded. And then once you get kind of to the end of it, it starts to double back, and that's when you start climbing up some stairs. They made it seem like it was really strenuous, but I didn't think it was too bad to get up to the level of the dwellings. You can actually see them right there, and I didn't think the steps were too crazy. I did think it was very reminiscent of my visit to Walnut Canyon, which is very similar, where you had dwellings that were built into natural crevices in the cliffs, and you had to climb stairs up and down to get to them. I thought there were a lot more stairs there. If you're curious about that visit, you can check that video out as well. But again, let's get back to this one. The trail takes you right up to the dwellings, and it's really cool because there's a few of them that you can see just from the outside. And then the largest, most elaborate one, they actually have stairs that you can climb up and walk around in the inside. And if you're so inclined to get out, you can go down a short ladder. If not, you can just go back to the stairs that you got up originally. But it's really cool. You can get up and close and check out these ruins for yourself. While you're exploring, there's even a ranger there that'll answer questions for you and offers a lot of insight to what was going on here, how they were built, what they found, all sorts of things. Just really interesting stuff. Now, in one of the rooms, there were a couple of pictographs, which I thought were kind of cool. I didn't see very many. I only saw maybe 2 or 3, but yeah, they were there. Before you start the trail, they do ask that you only bring water, no food, and no sweet drinks. And I thought, okay, maybe that's just because of they don't want trash and things like that. But no, there's actually another reason. Pack rats are attracted to the scent, and that'll attract them to the site, and they'll burrow into the walls, and that ruins the site. In addition, the site here has approximately 80% original walls, which they claim is more than Mesa Verde, and they seem to wear that badge with honor. And if you'd like to check out some pictographs, not too far from the trailhead for the cliff dwellings is another short trailhead that leads to these. Just like petroglyphs, I love me some pictographs. In some ways, these are more interesting because they're a little more delicate. So the fact that they've lasted as long as they have is amazing. It's fascinating. And then, what were they trying to say? You know, some of them we can figure out. Others are lost to history. Overall, I enjoyed my visit here. I thought it was interesting. It is a little bit off the beaten path, takes a little bit of effort to get here, but I think it's worth it. If you happen to be in this southwest region, maybe incorporate it with a couple of other sites, like maybe Chiricahua, or even like White Sands isn't too far away, so just things to keep in mind. Well, that does it for this one. Thanks for joining me on this trip to the Gila Cliff Dwellings. Hope you found it interesting, hope you found it informative, and even though it takes some effort, maybe it encourages you to come visit. With that said, I guess I'll see you on the next one. Nothing like bringing in a herd.